Today we'll discuss about the clinical utilization of Prachanna Karma, especially related to Shalakya disorders, and in Shalakya especially what the cases we see in ENT OPDs. In SDM Hassan, we have 3 OPDs related to Shalakya only. It is ENT OPD, it is IOPD, and it is dental OPD. So we have 3 OPDs. So I see exclusively the ENT OPD and also in charge of dental unit. So we get a lot of ENT disorders, especially the scalp. So we do a lot of Prachanna Karma on day-to-day basis in diseases of scalp, especially the Indralupta and Kalitya. So that's why I kept the name Clinical Utilization of Prachanna Karma. So we'll go to the slide presentation. Yes. So Prachanna is one among Shastrakrita Raktamokshana, as you all know, and Raktamokshana especially mentioned in Raktapitta disorders. So it is the only Shodhana procedure where the vitiated doshas are taken out from the shakas itself, creating an artificial root. Because most of the times for Kapha Nirharana, you go for Vamana Karma, Pitta Nirharana, we go for Virichana Karma, Vata Basti. And it is the only Shodhana procedure where the vitiated doshas are taken out from the shakas itself by creating artificial root. So that is the beauty of Raktamokshana. And Acharya Sushruta mentioned it one among Panchakarma, Vamana Karma, Virichana Karma, Basti, Nasya, and he added Raktamokshana as one of the Panchakarma. And as Basti Chikitsa is Ardha Chikitsa for Kaya Chikitsa persons, for Shalya Shalakya people, Raktamokshana is playing a role as Ardha Chikitsa. And of course, it is very quick and most fruitful therapy. As you know, the Raktamokshana, Mokshate Dukkhamanena iti. So the moksha means to relieve or to let out. Yes, synonyms, most of the scholars have spoken about this. Yes, Avasechana, Rakta Nirharana, Rakta Nisravana, Shonita Mokshana, Rakta Harana, Asra Visruti, and Rakta Sravana. So these are the different synonyms of Rakta Mokshana. Yes. The importance of Rakta. Health is nothing but equilibrium of doshas, and Acharya Sushruta has described Rudira as a dosha. Okay. So in some areas of Shalaktantra, he gives references that Rudira is a dosha. So Rakta plays an important role in manifestation of the diseases and acts as a 4th dosha. So while explaining the importance of Rakta, Sushruta has mentioned the Rakta as the root of the body and it nourishes the body very well. Can't we remove this? Yes, according to Acharya Dallana, so the main factors in the formation of the body during the fetal life, the main factor which helps in the formation of the body during fetal life is the Rakta. And after birth, it does the Prinana of Sharira. And very important, if there is any loss of blood, it leads to Mrityu. So you know that what is the total amount of blood in the body? It's almost 5.5 liters. And any reduction of at least 30% of blood may be proving fatal. So the blood acts as the Rakta dosha, the Rakta acts as a very good Jivaka. The Panchabhotika of Rakta, yes, the Visruta is related to the Prithvi Mahabhuta, the Dravata is related to the Jala Mahabhuta, Raga to the Teja Mahabhuta, Spandana of the Rakta to Vayu Mahabhuta, and the Laguta to the Akasha Mahabhuta. We'll go to the historical aspects of Raktamokshana. So going to the historical aspects, we get the early references, almost 6th and 7th century BC, which is explained in Ayurvedic classical texts of medicine and surgeries. The Greek humorism, like black bile, yellow bile, blood, so gradually spread through the Europe, and gradually it becomes the Europe's chief medical surgical practice. And it arrived in Asia and it was adopted by Islamic rulers and hakims, and adopted in the form of Unani in about 10th century AD. So it was, now also it is popularly called by the method called hijama. So the bloodletting method by hijama. So now the term phlebotomy refers to the drawing of blood. Yes, so you'll get the first reference of prachana karma and then medicine coming in contact with the blood circulation in Sharangadhara Madhyamakanda 12th chapter. So in Sharangadhara Madhyamakanda 12th chapter, you will see the reference of one medicine called Suchika Bharanarasa. So in Suchika Bharanarasa, Acharya mentions the medicines like Sutta. Sutta means the Parada, and the Visha. Visha means Ativisha. The Sutta, the Parada and Ativisha is done a putta, and it is stored in a bottle, glass bottle, corked glass bottle, and the dosage of it is you dip a needle in the bottle, and whatever the dosage of medicine that has stuck to the tip of the suchi is taken as the dosage, and where it is applied, so where it is given, so it is given in Sannipataja Murcha. Lagu Suchika Bharanarasa is given in Sannipataja Murcha and Sarpadashtasya Mrutavastha. The patient is in dying stage, or is in a coma stage by the poisonous snake bite. So this Lagu Suchika Bharanarasa is explained, and it is also the beauty of Sharangadhara Samhita. You will find this Lagu Suchika Bharanarasa, and how this Lagu Suchika Bharanarasa has to be applied. It has to be applied after doing prachana karma in the scalp, in the crown part, and then it should be applied over the prachita area and rubbed with the finger, so that the drug will come directly in contact with the blood circulation. That's what he says. Shurena prachite murdnihi tatra angulya chagarshayet. So you have to do the prachana over the murdni, that is crown, and tatra angulya cha garshayet. Then you should rub the medicine with the anguli, so that rakta beshaja samparkan, so that the rakta will come in contact with the beshaja. Rakta beshaja samparkan murchito hapi hi jivati. So the murchita person also gets up. Jivati. Murchito api hi jivati. Tataiva sarpadashtastu mrutavastopi jivati. Even the person who is having a poisonous snake bite and going to die is also recovered. So this is the first reference of medicine coming in contact with the blood circulation after prachana karma, explained in Sharangadhara Madhyamakanda 12th chapter. So apart from this, the other historical aspects, you will also find the Mruta Sanjeevani Suchika Bharanarasa, where the same technique is adopted in Rasa Jalanidhi by Buddhadev Mukherjee, and of course the classical, everybody know the classical heights of references, Ashtanga Hridaya in 26th chapter and Sushruta Samhita 14th chapter. So what is the relevance of the Rakta Mokshana? So it's an ideal treatment when doshas are vitiated in Dhatu Antargata. So Rakta Mokshana is an ideal treatment when doshas are vitiated in Dhatu Antargata, and doshas are expelled through the media of Rakta, and this brings about the normalcy of dosha. And the diseases which cannot be cured either by Snigdha and Ruksha, or Shita and Ushna, or by Santarpana and Apatarpana kind of treatment, Rakta Mokshana plays an important role in such conditions. So that is the relevance of Rakta Mokshana. So we'll go to the classification of Rakta Mokshana. Mainly, Rakta Mokshana is divided into Shastrakrita Visravana and Ashastrakrita Visravana. Shastrakrita Visravana is once again divided into Siraveda and Prachana. Ashastrakrita Visravana is divided into Jaloka, Shringa, Alabu, and Ghati Yantra. So Prachana comes under Shastrakrita Visravana. Yes, Dosha Avasthanasara, the Rakta Mokshana. Shringa is used for Vata Dushita Rakta, and Jalauka is used for Pitta Dushita Rakta, and Alabu is used for Kapha Dushita Rakta. Yes, Atara Avastha Anusara, in Sukumaras, the Shringa and Alabu is widely used. In Atyanta Sukumaras, Jaloka is used. And in Asukumaras, or is Satvaguna is good, the Bala is good, then Prachana and Siravada is recommended. Rakta Avasthanasara, Jalauka is used in Avaghada and Gambhira Pradesha, whereas Prachana is used in Eka Desha Gratita and Uttana and Pindita form of dosha aggregation. Shringa Gati Alabu is used in Suptata and Tvak dosha, and whereas Siraveda is used in Sarvavyapi doshas. So this is Rakta Avasthanusara application of Rakta Mokshana. And depending upon the area of action, so it is used in Shringa up to 10 angula. If the dosha is spread about in 10 angulas, Shringa is used. If it is Jaloka up to 1 hasta, it is used. Alabu up to 12 angulas, it is used. If it is 1 angula, then Prachana is used. And if it is Sarvadaika, then Siraveda is used, extensively used in practice. Yes, so we'll go to the topic Prachana. What is Prachana? Prachana is nothing but it's a type of bloodletting in multiple small superficial incisions or pricks which are made to irrigate out the impure blood. So Prachana is nothing but causing multiple small superficial incisions or prick so that the Dushita Rakta is made to irrigate out. You can see the image also. So we are making a small pricks, and what is the instrument? The Shastra we are using is, what we use here is for Prachana is the insulin syringe, the needle of the insulin syringe. So it is serving a very good purpose for us for doing Prachana, especially in the scalp. And usually after Prachana, what we do is we follow it by Lepana. So we go for Lepana after Prachana Karma. So the materials used are the Suchi. The material used for Prachana Karma are Suchi. So here you can see the 24 and 26 type number needles, but we use the needle of the insulin syringe. So it is, the pricks are also very painless and very narrow. And while doing the pricks, we can also avoid the hair follicles, and the compliance of the patient is also very much better when we use the insulin syringe. So earlier we were using the 26 number needle also, but after that we found the compliance of the patient is much more because the patient should agree for the treatment again and again in a duration of 15 days. So the insulin syringe proved to be very beneficial for us. So what are the indications we go for Prachana Karma? Is the blood vitiated over a localized area. So when blood vitiated over a localized area to be expelled, that is Ekadesha Sthita, is a good indication for Prachana Karma. Uttana Avastha of Dosha. If it is in Uttana Avastha of Doshas like Indralupta, we go for Prachana. Also when vitiated Rakta is more vicious, Pindita, then we go for Prachana Karma. Tvacha Rogas like Shvitra and Vichachika, the physicians go for Prachana Karma. Utsedayukta Vrana, the Prachana Karma is used. Of course, the Kapalagata Rogas like Indrarupta and Kalitya, the Prachana Karma is utilized. And not last, not but the least, the Sannipataja Murcha and Sarpadamstra, as we went to the reference of Lagasuchika Bharana Rasa in Sharangadhara Samhita, Madhyamakanda, 12th chapter. So it indicates even in Sannipataja Murcha and Sarpadamstra, the Prachana Karma is used. So what are the contraindications? What are the contraindications of Prachana karma? So where it should not be selected as a treatment modality. Sneha pita, the patient has taken snehana, snehapana, vamita, virakta, astapita, anuvasita. The Prachana karma should not be applied. Garbhini, Bala, Biru, and Krisha. Disease like Kasa, Shwasa, Murcha, Jwara, Pakshagata, Pandu, and Arshas. Patient with bleeding disorders, especially hemophilia, HbSAg and HIV patients, the the Prachana karma should not be selected. Patients who are having a history of neurogenic shock on prick. So some people will come, they will be having the history of shock. I went to a local doctor and they pricked me an injection. Soon after the prick, I became unconscious. So history of neurogenic shock on prick. So should not be taken for the Prachana karma. And especially the patients intaking blood thinning medications like warfarin, ecosprin. So should not be taken for the Prachana karma. So this is the contraindications what we discussed, and this also serves the purpose of our exclusion criteria. Yes, what are the pre-laboratory investigations we do before taking a case? Yes, very mandatory is the BT, CT, and PT, right? So the bleeding time, clotting time, and prothrombin time evaluation is mandatory. Many times BT, CT will be normal, but PT, prothrombin time will be excess. So in this case, the case is discarded for Prachana karma. So the BT, CT, and PT evaluation, the prothrombin time evaluation is mandatory. HbSAg and HIV evaluation, HbSAg and retro or HIV evaluation is very important because the patient's blood is coming in contact with the physician hand, right? Though you are wearing gloves. Yes, and then CBC, complete blood count. You should also note the HB, the percentage of HB before taking the patients for Prachana karma. So we'll go to the procedure of Prachana karma. So with prior consent of the patient, it is performed as a treatment to eliminate the Doshita Rakta and usually adopted as a Sthanika Chikitsa. So the Purva karma you should adopt is wipe the affected area with the spirit and then wipe the area with the lukewarm Triphala Kashaya. The precautions are to be taken to avoid the procedure over Sandhi, Marma, Sira, and other vital organs, as it may cause fatal outcomes if done on such sites. And if the Prachana karma is done apart from the scalp, so you should go for the tourniquet application, some 4 angula above the site of Prachana karma. So we'll go to the Pradhana karma. The small incisions are made over the site of vitiation, and incisions are taken in such a pattern that they are parallel to the muscles and vessels beneath and not too deep and shallow. So especially what the Prachana karma we do on the scalp, in Kalitya and Indralupta conditions, the depth is almost 2 to 3 mm. So you can see the needle of the insulin syringe is almost 5 mm and only 2 to 3 mm of the length of the insulin needle is going inside. You can see in the video also, we have the video of Prachana karma. You can see in the video also. So almost 2 to 3 mm of the depth of the needle is entering the scalp. So the pricks over the prick should be avoided. So you are doing one prick and you are again pricking on the same area. So that should be avoided. So you should have a better light source on the head so that you wear a better headlight so that you prevent the prick over the pricks. And while pricking on the scalp, it should be also taken care that you should not prick on the hair follicles. So you prick on the hair follicles, once again you are damaging the hair follicles. So that's why a good light source is very important. And thus the whole area of the diseases should be covered and the bleeding has to be encouraged, and it is a autonomous, it's a controlled bleeding. It is not the profuse bleeding, it is a controlled bleeding. So bleeding has to be encouraged, and bleeding stops on its own after few minutes. So, and what is the Paschat Karma? Again, we will wipe with the Triphala Kashaya and apply Lepa according to the conditions. In Indralupta, we go for Vanadanyaka Lepa. We had a study on Vanadanyaka Lepa. PG scholar Dr. Naveen had worked on the Vanadanyaka Lepa in Indralupta, and we have got a RJHS dissertation over it. And this Vanadanyaka is a folklore practice. Actually, the Vanadanyaka is folklore practice, which is brought into a system after study. So this is the procedure video I am going to demonstrate. Am I audible to all? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So I'm playing the video of. So today we have got a patient of Kalindya who is losing hair on the crown, which is a typical male pattern hair loss. So male will lose mainly hair in the temples, right, as well as in the crown. The female will lose at the top of the head. So that is male pattern and female pattern hair loss. So today we have got male pattern hair loss who is losing hair on the crown. So for him, we have formulated an Ayurvedic formula for Kalindya, which includes the Vanadanyaka. So this is the Vanadanyaka, and this is the Churna combination of Triphala, Yashtimadu, and Kasi Sabasna. Triphala is 60 grams, Yashtimadu is 40 grams, and Kasi is 5 grams. And this is Palasha Bija. This is Palasha Bija, and this is the onion, Palandu. We are taking the combination of all this. Okay. So the prerequisites, what you require for Prachana Karma. Before going for Prachana Karma in Kalindya is, the very important is the Shastra, right? The Shastra what we are using is the insulin syringe. So by the insulin syringe, the needle is very narrow, and the pricks will be very painless when compared to the other needle. So we usually use the insulin syringe, the suchi of this insulin syringe for Prachana Karma. So you also require cotton, spirit, glass pieces, the top.
Sir, please unmute. Sir, please unmute. Sir, please unmute.
Okay. So unmuted. So the final phase of while combining all the ingredients, that is Vanadanyaka, the Triphala Churna, Palandu, and Palasa. So this is the final product of Lepa which we are going to apply after Prachana Karma. So
can see the this is hair loss in the crown. You can see the this is hair loss in the crown. So this is a typical hair pattern hair loss. Including the preservative and taking the cotton preservative and yellow so you can dry the area with gas. So this is the insulin. So this is the insulin. So those are external. So you can see the areas exposed. Okay. So that the blood will come in contact with the direct blood circulation.
So you can see the pricks there. It's done on the crown of the scalp. And you should not prick over the prick. That's very important. And you should avoid the hair follicles. So since it is COVID times, it's also important to you take the precautions. You have a very good respirator mask is also important. Wearing a scalp mask is also important. And for this procedure, especially wearing a headlight, a good LED headlight is also as important. So the LEPA of the ingredients is applied over the scalp. So we are having a LEPA of Triphala, Eshtimadu, Kasisa, Palandu, and Vanadhanyaka. So tonic has to be tied over the head. And it is washed after 2 hours. So for 2 hours, the LEPA has to be there on the crown. So it is a male pattern hair loss. You can see that.
Let this LEPA stay here for 2 hours. 2 hours, let the LEPA stay there. And after 2 hours, let them be removed and the patient can wash his hair.
Okay, so that was the procedure of Prachana Karma for you. So we'll move on to the next slide. There is complication and management of Prachana Karma. So deep incisions may cause injury to the vessels and nerves, and which may require hemoligation and cautery. And also followed by application of Raktastambhaka drugs like Ushiradi Churna. So you should be keeping emergency drugs with you, like Ushiradi Churna, and even the modern emergency drugs. If, as I told you, if the patient has not undergone any prick and he is having prick, neurogenic shock to the prick, the emergency medicine should also be there in your medical setup. So that is the complications and management. And what is the Samyak Lakshana of Prachana, especially in Indralupta? What I'm saying is, in Indralupta, when we do Prachana and patient says is Daha Shamana. I had the burning sensation around the patchy hair loss. Now it has come down. And some people also say that there is reduction in itching. Some people will also have itching at the patchy hair loss part. And Kandu Vimakti and Daha Shamana is a very important Samyak Lakshana of Prachana. Samyak Lakshana of Prachana Karma. So what is the mode of action? So the Prachana increases the circulation, blood circulation, the microcirculation to the area is increased by Prachana Karma, and it breaks the avarana of Kapha and Rakta, and thus relieving the hair follicle from the vitiation of Vata and Pitta, especially in Indralupta. So there is vitiation of Vata and Pitta, and the hair follicle is shedding out, and the hair follicle is avrita by Kapha and Rakta. So this Prachana Karma breaks this Samprapti Vigatana. It does the breaking of this Samprapti and thus helps in the development of new hair follicle, the new hair shaft. So the Prachana improves the perifollicular vascularization and strengthens the hair follicles. So mainly the Prachana Karma and the medicines, the Lepa we apply after Prachana Karma improves the perifollicular vascularization and strengthens the hair follicle. Prachana drains out the vitiated blood from the strothus. So later, when the Lepa is applied over the region, it facilitates the easy and faster absorption of the drug. So this is the mode of actions we have enlisted for Prachana Karma. So what are the recent advances of Prachana Karma? So a pilot study was taken regarding the botulinum toxin injection to the scalp in male type baldnesses, and postulated with botulinum relaxes the scalp, thus reducing the pressure on the perforating vasculature and improving the blood flow. So it reduces pressure on the perforating vasculatures and thus improves the blood flow. And this study reveals that by increasing blood flow and oxygen concentration around the scalp can stimulate the hair follicles and hair regrowth. So in the same way, Prachana also increases the blood flow to the continuous pricking and thus help in removing the Dushita Rakta in a larger scalp area. So this helps the stimulating of the hair follicle and for the new hair growth. So when we come to the advancements, I was talking about hijama, a technique which is now gaining popularity. It also is involving the Prachana Karma. Suppose they're keeping the cups over the knee joint. First, they will do the Prachana over that side and then go for cupping. So here also Prachana is involved in cupping or hijama technique. Yes, now the recent advancements of Prachana Karma is the hair rollers. The hair rollers and the hair follicle stimulators you are getting in the market. In Amazon, you can find the hair follicle stimulator. So how they are working? So the tiny punctures made across the scalp and skin increase the blood circulation and the cell production. So tiny pricks increases the blood circulation and cell production, and the microneedles are beneficial in stimulating the skin cell proliferation. See, so this is a new method of adopting our prachana karma, right? So they are adopting our prachana karma and naming it as hair follicle stimulator. Of course, this is the recent advancement of prachana karma. Yes, after prachana karma, we go for applications, as you saw. It may be a case of Indralupta or Kalitya, it may be Triphala Churna, Yashtimada Churna, Kasisa Basma, Palasha Bija Churna, Bringaraja Lepa, Vanadhanika Lepa, and in Indralupta, we also go for Icha Bedirasa. So why Icha Bedirasa? Icha Bedirasa is having Jayapala, a very major ingredient is Jayapala, and Jayapala is a very good dravya to remove the avarana. So you know that in Indralupta there is avarana of kapha and rakta to vata and pitta in the region of hair follicle. So this Jayapala bija after Shodhita by Nimbu Rasa is a very good medicine to resolve this condition of Indralupta. So this is the healthy hair follicle, what you are seeing. You can also see the cuticle, cortex and medulla, which is arising from the dermal papillae. And these are the growth cycles of hair. The anagen phase, which is the active growth phase, which comes for 2 to 6 years. Catagen phase, the transition phase, which rests for 1 to 2 weeks. And telogen phase, resting phase, where the hair gets shed out. That is 5 to 6 weeks. So you can see the dermal papillae is separated from the follicle. So again, the hair matrix is forming the new hair. So this is the growth cycle of hair. So especially in Indralupta, what's happening is the hair follicle will suddenly enter into late catagen and telogen phase, and the hair gets shed out. So that is the pathology which is occurring. The most of the people in the say it is autoimmune disorders, especially the immune cells attacking the hair follicle, the one hair follicle as a foreign body. So what are the facts about the hair? The scalp has an average life of 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years. And number of hair on the head are 1 lakh to 1.5 lakhs. And the length is less than 1 mm to more than 1 meter. And the width is 0.005 to 0.6 mm. And normal hair loss is 50 to 100 per day. So many people will be worried. I always have hair fall. So you should be convinced the patient that it is normal to have 50 to 100 hair loss per day. Right? More than that is a issue of concern. But 50 to hair loss daily, there will be a shedding of the hair, and new hairs will be generating. So though there is 50 to 100 hair loss, why you are not going bald? Because the anagen phase will overcome this shedding of 50 to 100 per day. So you should have some facts of hair fall to understand Kalitya and Indralupta. So the pattern of hair loss in women differs from the male pattern baldness. In women, the hair becomes thin all over, or it becomes losing at the top of the head. Whereas in male, the hair fall will be in the temples and on the crown. So the hairline in women doesn't recede, and in androgenic alopecia in women leads to total baldness. So the rapid increase in the proportion of people suffering from hair fall could be attributed to the lack of wholesome diet habits, erratic lifestyle, mode of not following the principles of Sadvrutta, Dinacharya, and Ruttacharya, either due to illiteracy of the subjects or due to faulty interpretations. So in alopecia areata, what's happening is, so there is no actual loss of hair follicle in the hairless lesion. Rather, the follicles are not producing visible hair fibers. So associated with this, there will be disruption of hair fiber production in the perifollicular that is around the hair follicle, and intrafollicular, that is within the hair follicle, due to inflammatory infiltrates. So what are these inflammatory infiltrates? So they are nothing but the immune cells attacking the hair follicle in Indralupta. Yes, you can see here. So there are normal hair follicles and the hair follicles where the infiltrates are infiltrated. So the infiltrate is often described as like a swarm of bees around the hair follicle bulbs. And the immune cells have been identified as primarily the T lymphocytes with CD4 plus cell subtypes, twice as common as the CD8 plus cell subtypes. So the inflammatory infiltrate also contains a handful of macrophages, Langerhans cells, and granulocytes. So as per Ayurveda, Acharyas have mentioned very clearly, as I said. So what's happening in Indralupta? The vitiated Pitta and Vata dosha in Romakopa is taking place, causing the shedding of the hair. And the Kapha dosha and Rakta dosha is causing the obstruction for the opening of Romakopa. The avarana is taking place, and thus the regrowth of hair is stopped. So what are the differential diagnoses you can take for Indralupta in your clinical practice? Is the first one is tinea capitis. So tinea capitis is nothing but the superficial skin infection of the fungus, which has the propensity to affect the hair fiber and hair follicle. So it is a fungal infection. Trichotillomania, a psychiatrical cause, a psychological cause is there where the patient go for, due to some stress or anxiety, repeatedly pricking the hairs, and the patient will be having very irregular hair pattern, and you will be thinking who is the hair cutter for the patient. So that is trichotillomania. And tinea barbae is the tinea infection which is occurring in the bed, especially the persons who use the razor in opposite direction. They want it to be clean shaved, and they go for the razor, using the razor in opposite direction, and the skin pores are very much open all the time. So there may be chances of tinea infection of the bed, that is called tinea barb. So these are the differential diagnosis you can take it for the Indralupta, tinea capitis, trichotillomania, and tinea barb. Yes, so we'll go for some of the case studies, what we treated here. So a 21-year-old female patient complains of sudden patchy hair loss in the occipital lobe, and on examination, complete loss of hair on the occipital lobe in a circular patchy manner was seen. And the diagnosis is Indralupta, of course. And the treatment given was Amapachana with Chitrakadivati. So first we go for Amapachana, then Amapachana with Chitrakadivati as well as Panchakola Fanta 100 ml TID. Then after 2 days, we go for Sadhya Virechana with Nimbamrita Eranda Taila 60 ml followed by Triphala Kashaya 100 ml. So 7 Vegas was noticed in this patient after this Virechana Aushadhi was given. And from the next day, the Prachana Karma was carried out once in 3 days. The patient stayed here for almost 7 days. So once in 3 days, we did Prachana, followed by Vanadhanika Lepa, and Pratimasha Nasya with Andutaila was also given simultaneously. And internally, Mahamanjishtadi Kashaya 15 ml with 45 ml of lukewarm water was given, along with Arogyavardhinivati 2 BD. So this is the Vanadhanika photo, what you are seeing, which was the folklore method. And from folklore, we did a dissertation, dissertation, and we have incorporated in our treatment principles here. Yes, so you can see this patient. I don't want to reveal her name before treatment, and after treatment, the lesion has gone down. So she will convey her experiences to you all.
ಈಗ ತುಂಬಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಫುಲ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬೆಳಿತಿದೆ.
Okay, of course, she's happy with her head. Yes, so we'll go for the another case study. A 43-year-old male patient having hair fall since 1 year associated with stress and anxiety. A 43-year-old male patient having hair loss with stress and anxiety. Of course, Kalitya. Treatment given is Amapachana with Ajamodadi Churna, 5 grams BD with honey, Panchakola Fanta 100 ml TID, Sadhya Virechana with Trivrit Leha followed by Draksha Kashaya 100 ml. 6 Vegas was noticed. And from next day, Prachana was done once in 3 days. Then followed by Lepa with Trifala Churna, Yashtimada Churna and Kasi Sabasma. So internally for this patient, we also gave Astiposhikavati 2 BD, Saptamrita Loha 2 BD, and Manasamitravati 1 BD. Since stress was a factor, stress and anxiety was a factor here, Manasamitravati was also given in the dosage of 1 BD. On discharge, Brungamalaka Taila was given along with Amla Shikakai shampoo, Astiposhikavati 2 BD, Astiposhikavati of Dudh Papeshwar, which is having Kukutanda Tokbasma, Arjuna, Laksha, Saptamrita Loha 1 BD, Manasamitravati 1 BD. So you can see this patient, we did Prachana over a wide area, Lepa of the drugs. You can see a small oasis there arising. Of course, it will take time. So 6 months to almost 10 months duration treatment is required for him. Yes, we'll go to the case 3, where a 30-year-old male patient having a recurrent patchy hair loss in the beard. So the diagnosis Indralupta or alopecia areata barb, it is called. So the treatment is Amapachana with Chitrakadivati 2 BD, Panchakola Fanta. For all the patients, we go for Amapachana initially for 1 or 2 days, and then only we'll go for the treatment. Panchakola Fanta with 100 ml of BD. Then for this patient, since it is a recurrent alopecia areata barb, we went for Snehapana with Panchatiktaka Grata in Arohana Karma and followed by Snehana and Svedana, and we underwent Vamana for him. We executed Vamana in this patient, then followed by Prachana Karma and Vanadhani Kalepa. Internally, we gave Astiposhikavati 2 BD, Lakshadi Gugulu, once again 2 BD, and on discharge, we advised him to apply Trifala Masi, Trifala Churna, and Loha Basma external application, and Icha Bedi Rasa with lemon on alternate days. So these are the case studies and procedures what you saw, which we clinically utilize the Prachana Karma in our institution. So what are the learning goals and outcome of this talk? So it is very clear that Prachana Karma is an easy daycare procedure. You need not always require admission. You can do it as a easy daycare procedure and send the patient after tying the tourniquet. It's cost effective. So how much cost it took? It took only 1 insulin syringe. The cost of 1 insulin syringe is less than 10 rupees, right? Not even 10 rupees. So minimal complications. The complications are very minimal in this method, and it's a unique and effective solution for a common problem. And of course, the scope for further research is there so that we can utilize this Prachana Karma and spread it worldwide. So thank you all for your patient hearing. So over to you. Any doubts are welcome.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful practical session and sharing your experiences, case studies, and also for the pictorial and videographic presentation. Thank you, sir. So we have few questions regarding the session.
Yeah.
The first one.
Most welcome. Most welcome.
Yes, sir. The first one is, in Indralupta condition, whether Prachana or Jaloka Acharana is advised or ideal. Is there any criteria for selecting either of these two?
Yeah, we have done both. We have done Prachana as well as Indralupta. But we have found Prachanna more effective than Indralupta. I mean, Jajalokacharana. Because in Prachanna Karma, what we are doing is, so mainly we are causing the small pricks so that the pricks itself will increase the blood circulation to the spot. And after Prachanna Karma, we are applying lepa of the medicine. So that lepa, that active ingredients of lepa, for example, Palasha Bija or Vanadanyaka, it is helping to increase the tensile strength and follicular density of the hair, and also it helps to increase the microcirculation. So Prachanna is more beneficial than Jalavakacharana, what we have realized by our trial and error method.
The next question is, can we use Prachanna as an alternative for hair transplantation?
I can't hear you.
Is it audible?
Yeah.
Can we use Prachanna as an alternative for hair transplantation, or it is just limited to Indralupta condition?
Prachanna as an alternative to hair transplantation, no. It will be Atishayokti, right? Hair transplantation is a different procedure. Prachanna is a different procedure. We are having benefit of Prachanna in the conditions of Indralupta and as well as Kalitya also. But the entire hair is lost, and then you can go for a hair transplantation, no. We are not transplanting any hair follicles in Prachanna Karma. So it is not a substitute for hair transplantation.
The next question, can Prachanna helps in Kalitya?
Of course, but when you compare, the Prachanna is very effective in Indralupta than Kalitya. So if you ask me whether it is giving good results in Prachanna or Kalitya, yes, very clearly I will tell it. It is giving very good results in Indralupta than Kalitya. And I am open in this matter, right? I am not. I don't want to hide anything. Prachanna is giving 100% results in Indralupta. It is not so in the case of Kalitya.
Sir, can you share us how to approach a case of alopecia totalis?
Can you repeat the question? It's not audible properly.
Sir, can you share or can you tell us how to approach a case of alopecia totalis?
Alopecia totalis, usually it will be mostly due to the autoimmune disorders, and especially the systemic cause will be involved. So you should assess the systemic illness which is involved in the condition, especially the hypothyroidism or other immune compromised states will be involved. So more than local line of treatment, systemic line of management is required in alopecia totalis and alopecia universalis.
Next question is incision applied on scalp without local anesthesia?
Yes, that's what. See, earlier we were using apart from insulin syringe, we were using other syringes, 26 number, 24 number, and we were not comfortable because the complaints of the patient was not very much. So after we started using the insulin syringe, the complaints of the patient is very much. You saw the patient was sitting very silent when I was doing Prachanna Karma, and insulin prick is the needle is very narrow, and the pain is very, very less. It's very much tolerable. Even a Alpa Sattva patient can also undergo Prachanna Karma. That is the beauty of this insulin syringe, what we adopted in Prachanna Karma. So no anesthetic agent is required, and anesthetic gel or spray can't be used because it is a skin, it is not a mucosal surface. So just you counsel the patient, you explain the procedures to the patient, it's enough. You can manage. You can do it in a clinic, no need of any other anesthetic agents.
Not even OT, sir? Not even operation theatre, sir?
Pardon?
Not even operation theatre, sir?
Not even operation theatre. I don't recommend the operation theatre also. You can do it in your clinics. Every doctor of Ayurveda doctor from today onwards can do it in their own clinics. Okay. Basic.
Then, the next question is, what is Vanadhanyaka Lepa? Please explain, sir.
Yeah, Vanadhanyaka is a wild variety of coriander, is what we have seen, and it was incorporated some 8 years, since from 8 years in our institution. It was taken from a folklore practice, to be frank. The folklore practitioners was practicing it. And one of our PG, I told you, Dr. Naveen, he went to those folklore practitioners and by great effort, he took the herb and he came to know about that herb. And then it was diagnosed as it is a Vanadhanyaka, wild variety of coriander. And I also showed you the photo. And it is having the Lekhana Guna, Tikta Kashaya Rasa, Lekhana Guna, and Ushnavirya. So since it is having Lekhana Guna, it is countering in the Samprapti Vigatana of Avarana.